So yeah, sea level is something we really have to worry about. But I don't know about you, even as I'm recording this, the weekend that I'm recording this over, the forecast high today is supposed to be 85 and it's May. We don't normally get this warm this early in the year. We usually see temperatures in the 60s and 70s this time of year, and we're already seeing 80s. That scares me to think about how bad it's going to get this summer. Now, if you're watching this over the summer or next fall or next winter, might be a little blast from the past. But the reality is, as the earth continues to warm, the Bay Area is seeing a lot of that warmth. There are parts of the Bay Area that used to get snow that no longer get snow. There are parts of the Bay Area that used to get pretty chilly in the wintertime that are no longer getting chilly in the wintertime. There are parts of the Bay Area that used to be really, really wet that are actually becoming dry. In fact, as I'm recording this, we are now entering another severe drought after a couple of years of really, really dry weather. Well, that being said, many predictions are looking very dire. The Union of Concerned Scientists, of which I'm actually a member of, has actually projected that here in the Bay Area, we may see a doubling of the occurrence of 100-degree Fahrenheit days, and even worse, or that's just by 2050, and even worse by 2100. As I'm recording this, it's 2021. That's not that far away from now. 2050 is not that far away from now. So yeah, that's something we have to worry about. There are also indications that our coastal fog, which is sort of a trademark here in the Bay Area. If you live in San Francisco, they call it Carl the Fog. Well, as temperatures get warmer, there's less condensation and more evaporation. As a result, we could actually see a decline in the amount of fog that we get. Not only that, but our storm track that we usually get down here that it keeps us nice and wet is moving further north. That is preventing snowfall in the Sierra Nevada. And then to even add to that, when it does snow there, because it's warmer now than it used to be, it doesn't snow as much. As a result, those snowpacks, which are basically our water resource, are becoming substantially lower. So all of this bodes very scarily for us. All of this bodes really negatively for us. And then when we do get winter storms, when we do get storms, they are likely to become more extreme because more heat means more fuel for them. So when we do get storms, they're going to become more intense. That is also something we need to worry about. So yeah, we are actually getting warmer. This is California's statewide temperature departure compared to late 20th century averages. So I'm comparing this to the end of the 20th century, 1970 to 2000 levels. And if you notice, we used to have lots of below average years, but these past few years have been becoming substantially warmer. Almost every year, we're breaking records now. We're becoming warmer and warmer and warmer. And yes, we are getting much, much, much drier. Our Sierra snowpack that we rely on is becoming less and less reliable. I mean, if you take a look over this time, we have only seen recently, in just the past decade, we've only seen 2 years of above average snowfall. One of them was barely above average, and pretty much everything else has been not just below average, but way below average. So we're getting hotter, we're getting drier, and guess what? More heat, more drought leads to, you guessed it, more fires. And yes, California is seeing more and more and more fires. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Um, this infographic right here shows acreage over the past few years. So 2016, 2017, 2018. 2019 was actually kind of a mild season. 2020 was even worse than this. And we are already off to a bad start in 2021. So this is only getting worse. This is only getting scarier. And they're becoming more costly. They are becoming more costly. And so what we're actually seeing is an exponential growth in how much it actually costs to fires. It is worth mentioning that this isn't necessarily adjusted for inflation. However, if we were to adjust these numbers to inflation, 25 million in 80s dollars is not 401 million in 2010 dollars. Not even close. So what we are seeing, the growth that we're seeing in the cost of fighting these fires is way outpacing inflation. It's way outpacing inflation. So yeah, these fires are becoming more costly. And guess what? The more costly they become, the more people aren't going to want to live here, the less they're going to live here, the less they're going to pay taxes. So now not only are we paying more for fires, we're also losing more income because people are moving away. That does not bode well for our state. That does not bode well for our state. In the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we as Californians have actually tried to do to stop this.